perspective. This is a special presentation. Basically, we're going to give you guys a very short, free of charge show where we talk about the big news today. And then after this, we're going to my Patreon private show that I do once a month. This is the last day of the month, so it's my last day to do it. And I've got some stuff lined up, stuff that we can't do on YouTube. Stuff like clips that I can't. Not that they're like controversial or anything, but certain things that YouTube would take a video down. Copyright reasons, we can watch it under fair use in a more reasonable platform, and that's where we're going to go.
Anal penetration.
Yes. So everyone, please like this stream. There's a link in the description for my Patreon. It's $5 if you want to see the show tonight. We're going to do it. It's you know, Pimpmunk's he's a sick motherfucker usually, but now he's a sick motherfucker that's sick.
Yeah.
He got Mississippi mudhole sickness.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh dang.
Mississippi. My dick in a mudhole.
Mississippi mudhole.
Stop playing in the
sickness.
Mudhole, pimp.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna whoop Dusty Smith's ass one of these days.
Oh my God.
Promise.
Whoa.
He talking about Mississippi mudhole. That motherfucker's about as country as my left nut.
Mississippi mudhole.
Dusty Smith don't know shit, by the way. I'm just gonna say it. He's a
Why?
bitch.
I don't even know why we're talking about it.
Oh, no.
Cause I'm sick and I'll say fuck you to everybody I hate tonight.
Damn.
But you are a huge fan of Repsion.
Yeah, Repsion's cool.
I'd rather fuck off. I actually do not like Repsion.
No, you don't say. So
He's a little cunt.
I was insanely surprised today to find out Bill Cosby, his entire conviction was overturned. It doesn't mean that he's innocent. There was a major oversight by the district attorney, and Bill Cosby's a multimillionaire. He had the money to fight this while he served the last 2 years in prison. They took it up to the Supreme Court, and a Supreme Court judge in the state of Pennsylvania determined that his original trial was not a fair trial based on things that had happened before he was charged. So he's a free man, and he can never be charged in this specific instance again. It's a major oversight. It doesn't mean Bill Cosby's innocent. It doesn't mean we should lose faith in the justice system completely, but it does mean that these people fucked up big time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so fucked up. And then you got all these people saying, see, we told you he was innocent. That is not what happened.
He was found guilty in a trial.
Yeah.
That does not mean, even if he was found not guilty, that still doesn't mean you're innocent. That's why they call it not guilty and not innocent. You are never found innocent because a trial is, the prosecution makes a claim, and the defense doesn't have to totally disprove that claim. They just have to be able to show that it's not completely true beyond a reasonable doubt. Yeah. Like if there's any reasonable doubt at all. It's not guilty. That's how the justice system works. Yeah,
and that didn't happen. They said the 12 people of his peers said he was guilty, but it was a lawyer fuck up. That's what it was, a lawyer fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah. On this. Go ahead, Chad.
I was just gonna say I have more Heineken for the private show too.
That's good.
I'm gonna drink more Heineken.
Yeah.
I'm glad you added to what we were talking about, Shabisky. We appreciate that.
But it is cool though, because he would only drink that Mexican beer, like Corona and stuff like that. And at least now he's moved on to European beer. But now I have to suggest to him better European beer to drink. Heineken's fine. For what it is, I've been to the Heineken brewery in Amsterdam. It's made in Amsterdam.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I haven't had it since I was like 15
11.
or something. No, seriously, like 15 or something. So it's been like over a decade. So I thought I'd get it again because I remember it being a good beer. It's a good beer, yeah.
So the only way Bill Cosby is going to get in trouble would be if one of his other accusers can make a case that would stick. That's it. I mean, this specific case will not be tried again. So it would have to be one of the other ones if they can make a case stick against him. Otherwise, he's a free man. I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to play a little bit of some video on that right now.
Good afternoon. We're back with more breaking news about Bill Cosby.
I've heard he's totally blind, almost totally blind. I don't know if that's bullshit and that was just to get him into like more of a protective area of the prison. I don't know.
Cosby, you see him right now outside his home.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I don't know why that's. Maybe there's something covering it.
Yeah. I got wax again.
There it is.
I got some strawberry banana right here.
Strawberry banana.
Released from prison this afternoon.
Yeah.
Only the camera would focus. Near
but...
Philadelphia, and that is where after the Supreme Court in Pennsylvania overturned his sexual assault conviction. Let's listen.
Reviewing Mr. Cosby's appeal.
How about you get a microphone in front of this guy's mouth? Are you journalists? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? These people, like, they're here filming something. You can hear the road, like you can hear the street nearby better than you can hear this dude talk.
Yeah.
Seeing the lies, saying that Mr. Cosby had immunity. This U.S. citizen who served our country in the Navy.
They always bring that up. That doesn't matter. Like, I don't care what they served, okay? That should not matter. That should not make them any better than anybody else.
Navy, but he served our country in so many different ways through his celebrity. Him and Mrs. Cosby. Mr. Cosby has always used his celebrity, his name, his likeness, to uplift women. This is a man who refused
he lifted him up so he could fuck him.
to perform at the White House with Nixon.
Talk about it.
Nixon put him on a communist list in the 60s.
Why are you okay? Like,
along with so many other great names like Dick Gregory, Jane Fonda. How could a man who was being watched by the FBI every day be raping and drugging women in the 60s or 70s, especially a black man? Today, innocence came to Mr. Cosby with the help of these wonderful.
It didn't. I mean,
But
You're
that's
just
what they're
arguing that he's innocent because he's a black man. He couldn't have done it.
right.
Like, that was part of his argument. That's so
And
silly.
It's a technicality that this got overturned. It doesn't negate a huge portion of the trial itself.
But if you put that out there, if he says this, it's gonna, people on Twitter and Facebook are gonna say, "See, he was innocent." Because I see that a lot today.
Attorneys.
Yes.
To his right, you will see Miss Jennifer Bunjean.
You'll see people say that about him, but will they make the same argument about OJ? Like, OJ was literally found not guilty. Like,
She argued the appeal. To my left, you see Brian Perry.
Yes.
To Brian's left, Ashley Cohen. And then you have Haley Cohen. These are women and men
They kicked ass.
who from all walks
who's the peanut gallery here? Like, they kick ass.
of life. As I said earlier, James Brown made a song, "It's a man's world. There would be nothing without a woman and girl."
This guy is all rhetoric, man. He really is.
I believe he's a lawyer, and he probably gets paid a lot of fucking money to do this shit. Whether he personally believes it or not, that's his job.
Who was that woman? 57 years. The queen. The man.
Even the worst of the worst people deserve someone that's good at defending them. Like,
Patriarch of the Cosby family, who fought for his vindication, who said he would be vindicated. And today, on this hot day, This is a hot verdict for
I almost feel like Cosby should watch his back. I don't know. He can afford security, I guess.
us that we will forever cherish.
That's right.
Because we got one of the greatest,
Yes.
or the greatest
Yes.
entertainer alive today. Mr. Bill Cosby.
God, you're laying it on a little thick.
American citizen, this American treasure, this icon.
That's right.
With us today.
Oh, they're giving him a Fat Albert.
Ms. Bungie?
Yes.
He gave the women a Prince Albert. So
Okay, well, we are thrilled to have Mr. Cosby home. He served 3 years of an unjust sentence.
Too long.
He did it with dignity and principle, and he was a mentor to other inmates. He was really
guilty,
and I
man.
say doing time was not doing it. He's a
He is so goddamn guilty.
I can't get over it. You have to get in front of you.
Which, frankly, the lower courts were not.
I hear someone talking. They're hard to hear. There's like a helicopter that's louder. So they said something about the court of public opinion. You know, the court of public opinion can be fucked, but he went to a real court. He went to a real court. And there was a trial. And as far as I understand, we're going to watch another thing about it. The shit that got this overturned had to do with something that happened before the trial even started. He was like granted immunity by a previous district attorney. And when someone's like, all right, I'll grant you immunity if you talk about this and you do it, and then they go, oh, psych, they can't do that to you. They can't overturn that when you offer information granted immunity. It's slimy, but the rules are the rules.
Never should have been prosecuted for this. He had every right to
Why don't he admit that? Why don't he say something about him admitting that he bought fucking roofies? He admitted.
I think that was part of his testimony that he
Yeah.
was granted immunity from. I believe that's the case. I think that's what happened here. The shit that was the nail in the coffin for him is the shit that he said that he only said because he was promised immunity in return.
his word. And they pulled the rug out from underneath him because of public opinion. And that is not how our system should operate. Absolutely. When that happens, there cannot be a just sentence. And if there had been a just verdict and a just sentence, we wouldn't be here fighting. But there was not a just sentence and a not a just verdict. And I think it's really important that we keep our eye on the ball, that our Constitution is sacred, and that we need to uphold it at all times. And I'm glad that the Pennsylvania Supreme Court...
Who's the cameraman here? Like, what the fuck?
They're both shitty. Whoever's doing the mic work
Yep.
and the camera work, it's silly. They're not even on the person who's talking. We can barely hear them. It's like, what? Like, this is supposed to be NBC? What?
Get a fucking boom stand. Yeah, their budget is unbelievable. They should have
Me
a
and you
mic.
go out there and do a better job.
Right.
At this. like what the fuck?
I'm very proud of the team that we put together. Very proud to be part of this case.
Is there just a helicopter just like flying over them? That's so unbelievably annoying. Fly
I think
a
it's like
drone.
France.
At least fly a drone. Those are more quiet.
Yeah.
We always thought that eventually this is where it would end up. Mr. Cosby and I had many talks over the last couple of years. I predicted it, and we're here. It's a good day for the Cosby.
I mean, yeah. I mean, even if a Supreme Court justice thinks that, you know, Bill Cosby is totally guilty, they have to interpret the law the way it needs to be interpreted. So it was brought before them, and they ruled on it despite their own personal feeling about it. That is how the legal system should work. So this is a failure of the people who do the prosecuting, the people who you know, bring the evidence and file the charges and make the arguments in court.
Mr. Cosby, how does it feel to be home?
He is extremely happy to be home. He looks forward to reuniting with his wife and his children. And obviously, this has been a hard few years for this entire family. And it's really a blessing for him. And he says, you know, his heart is just beating really fast, and he's happy.
And we have Ashley here who works on the case.
I've never known.
Blind?
I believe he is legally blind, like, or at least I don't. I'm sure there's ways they can test whether you're actually blind or not. But I've never known Bill Cosby to be at a loss for words. That's kind of the weird thing, you know. Bill Cosby was one of the top stand-up comedians ever. Yeah. And even in a time where, like, America was, like, pretty racist against black people, he was, like, one of the few black people that was, like, accepted on TV and shit. Like, in the 60s. He was on TV in the 60s back in the day.
Yeah.
Been
around for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, he's old as fuck, too. But he went to trial. He was found guilty. I don't think they're saying anything actually in the trial was the problem. He was like granted immunity and given he was granted immunity to give testimony or to do a deposition, and then they used that deposition against him. That is, I mean, that is a violation of your rights. So they fucked up.
Yeah, they did, Major. It's disgusting, but what can you say?
Yeah.
I'm just honored to be part of such an amazing team. These lawyers did an incredible job, and I'm just so thankful to be a part of it.
Well, he went to prison for 3 years. What good goddamn job did you do, really? I mean, you found that they fucked up. Well, you really didn't do that.
Well, I will say last year it was hard to get anything in court. Like the COVID thing probably slowed this down a lot, but also it takes time to even get a case to the Supreme Court. So,
and this probably wouldn't have made it to the Supreme Court if it was some regular Joe fucking Schmo.
No. Like, seriously? Any, like, normal person that couldn't afford to keep paying lawyers to dig at this for you. Yeah, I mean.
Would never made it.
Yeah, it's because Bill Cosby's rich as fuck. He has a whole lifetime of making money, being... You know, in the 70s and 80s and early 90s, he was like one of the top celebrities.
Yeah, he was. Cliff Hustle.
Yeah. Did you ever see his awful movie Ghost Dad? He had a movie called Ghost Dad. It's so bad. It's awful.
It was bad. It was horrible.
I remember when I was a kid, because I went to a Catholic school, I had a nun that was a teacher, and she played for us because Bill Cosby was a clean comedian. He didn't swear. He didn't tell dirty jokes, really. It was all, like, clean kind of stuff, strangely enough. And he did this stand-up routine on Noah's Ark. I don't know if you've ever heard it before.
Yeah.
But I remember I had a nun that was my teacher in the 5th grade, and she played it for us. I just remember being like, this is funny. So I, like, went and bought the cassette tape of it and used to listen to it all the time. And that was like the first stand-up comedy thing that I had ever like really listened to. And some of the most famous comedians, at least of the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, they were all heavily influenced by Bill Cosby. You'd even hear like Jerry Seinfeld and Chris Rock and those kind of people. They'll all say that Bill Cosby was an influence on them. So it was fucked up. Like, people didn't know how to handle this shit at first.
It was a shocker to a lot of people.
Yeah. The Noah's Ark bit is awesome. It actually is. It's really good.
The bit where he raped that woman, not so awesome.
That wasn't a bit. If it was a bit, we could be like, "Oh, that wasn't funny," but it wasn't a bit.
So it's real, so it's funny.
No, it's not a bit. Let's hear. Is there anything else? Does he actually talk here? Do they get him?
I don't think
Let's
he
see.
does.
Yeah, I think he does. Let's see. They're focused on him here. Let's see what he says.
In hindsight, we're happy that he got it because he was able to pull the covers off of the corruption in Montgomery County. With the crooked DA, with the crooked judge, still an O'Neill.
No, wait a minute. Let's make it
That was not
crooked.
coming to New
No,
York.
what they no. See, the other guy made the deal, and he came in and fucked up. Is what happened. I don't think it necessarily makes him crooked.
Bill Cosby's sexual assault conviction is overturned by Pennsylvania's Supreme Court. Bill Cosby's walking out of prison a free man sooner than expected. In April of 2018, he was convicted of drugging and raping Andrea Costand, who worked for Cosby's alma mater, Temple University. Cosby was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison, and he was recently denied parole after he refused to enroll in a sex offender treatment program. The Cosby Show's star maintained his innocence, even if it meant staying in prison for 10 years. He's currently served over 2. Last December, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overheard arguments during a virtual hearing on whether or not Cosby was fairly convicted. The court's ruling, no, he was not. The state court cited 2 reasons for the decision. First, additional accusers were allowed to testify at the second trial, in their view, tainting it. Second, Cosby turned over...
Okay, so it was one thing that happened at the trial that they say made it unfair. Additional accusers
were incriminating evidence at the first trial and was told afterwards that those charges were off the table. According to the court, that effectively forced him to give up his Fifth Amendment right to self-incrimination. Cosby was the
they basically kind of tricked him into incriminating himself.
First celebrity to be tried and convicted during the Me Too era. So, will this have an impact on future cases? It's hard to say, especially considering laws involving prior testimony vary from state to state. The Montgomery County District...
I just feel like if this was that other guy, what's the other fucking white dude that did it?
Weinstein?
Yeah, Weinstein. If this was Weinstein, there'd be a whole lot more smoke about this.
I feel like there's a lot of smoke about it, though.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm surprised to see the people that are celebrating.
I don't know who you're seeing. Who are they?
Go to Twitter, dude.
Fuck Twitter, dude. There's idiots on Twitter. Why do I give a fuck what they say?
And Felicia Rashad came out saying, this was, great. This was innocent man released and all this shit. And
I don't even know who that is. And I'm glad.
Claire Huxtable.
Oh, well, of course. Of course. Why wouldn't they say that? Someone with a bias is going to say that.
A lot of people. And I'm going to tell you something. I hate them all.
Yeah.
I have not been seeing that, so I was just surprised. Like, I don't know. I have not been seeing any of that. But of course, people who were on Cosby's shows back in the day are going to say that.
Yeah, well, didn't what's his one play Theo? He came out against him, didn't he? Or did he not? Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think so. I don't think any of them did.
Dude, Denise was hot.
Denise, was that
the one who went to Hillman?
Lisa Bonet?
Lisa Bonet. Yeah, Bonet's her name. I just like to say Bonet.
Yeah, Lisa Bonet. She was married to Lenny Kravitz, and now she's married to fucking
white dude, right?
No, he's not white. He's Samoan. He's God, what's his fucking name? Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa.
Momoa. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's just he's just a little bit older than her daughter with Lenny Kravitz. That's one of those instances where like the wife is like the older one. She's at least 10 years older, maybe 15, 20 years older than him.
She's still hot as hell though.
She's got to be in her mid 50s. You see.
I let her fart on me.
Lisa Bonet. They even have her like 1980s Denise Huxtable picture.
Yeah, she's so fucking hot back then.
Yeah, she got married to Lenny Kravitz and kind of like almost looked like a female version of him when they were married. They both had like the dreadlocks and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, she did wear those. I think she still wears those. I'm not
She's
sure.
53. Yeah, spouse Jason Momoa. So she's 53 and Jason Momoa is 41. So she's like 12 years older.
Yeah.
It's not too big of an age difference.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
They'll make some pretty babies.
Yeah. I don't believe she can at this point. I don't know if she could when by the time they got married. Yeah, Jason Momoa, he was in Game of Thrones and he played Aquaman, and he was also Conan when they did like the Conan reboot.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's right. He did do that.
And when he was really young, they had Baywatch Hawaii. They had the Baywatch Hawaii show. He was on that back in the day too.
Cool. I don't remember that.
He was also on Stargate Atlantis.
Oh,
he was one of the
right,
characters Stargate Atlantis. Yeah. So, in about 3 minutes here, we're going to do the private show. If you guys want to join us, you can sign up. And the offer for the 24-hour show is still on the table if we can get the Patreon up to $1,000 for at least 1 month. That's all I ask. So, we're going to go do that now. So,
dang.
Actually, let me play this one last thing, and then we'll move on to the next thing.
The Trump Organization and Chief Financial Officer Alan Weisselberg will be indicted tomorrow. The Manhattan District Attorney's
I
office.
like how the Trump Organization and the CFO are getting in trouble, but Trump is not getting in trouble. It's like, what?
Office reportedly is set to charge the company and the CEO with tax-related crimes. These would be the first criminal charges since an investigation began 3 years ago. The former president is not expected to be charged.
Why? Why does he not get charged? I don't get it.
Dude, he's like Teflon, bro.
He is. He actually is. Nothing sticks to him. Nothing. Right, Shabisky?
Yeah.
Did you get that you get that vaccine?
Not yet, but I got a dab ready. I'm gonna
That's
take
not
a big
going to
dab
protect you from
before we switch over.
COVID-19, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know. I know. I didn't say that. I just have a dab ready, and I'm thinking about, dabbing it.
Watch Shabisky get COVID and spread it and kill people, and then he'll be like, "It was an accident."
It was an accident. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I got my Heineken and my weed. Stop picking on me,
Heineken
Ben.
and weed.
Can't we just make out and stop all this fighting?
Wow, look at all this pivoting.
Let's get back to Trump and how bad he is.
He got the vaccine.
Yeah, he did.
He was one of the first people to get it.
He created it himself in a lab.
I love how they take credit for it.
Yeah, it's so fucking crazy.
You know, I don't like Trump, but his supporters made me vote for Joe Biden because I hate his fucking supporters so much that I just wanted him to win, him to lose, just to shut them up.
But it didn't.
I mean, in a way, it did, though. In a way. And then they fucking did the insurrection shit and looked really dumb. But
they're ridiculous people. They really are.
Yep. All right. Now we're going to do this shit. Go there now. Link in the description. Here we go.